now, Ukraine is asking for more military aid from the U.S. and its allies as Russian forces direct their attacks to the east. Plus, the White House is cracking down on gun crimes, how a new measure would help law enforcement keep track of ghost guns. This is News 3 Now at noon. Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. Authorities in northern Wisconsin say a propane furnace caused a home explosion that seriously injured 2 people over the weekend. It happened Sunday in Niagara in Marinette County. Investigators say the blast was heard shortly before 9 o'clock yesterday morning. A couple in their 50s was inside the home. They were taken to the hospital with serious injuries. The explosion remains under investigation. 2 people were arrested in Columbia County for allegedly driving drunk. Sheriff's officials say a 35-year-old lost control of their car in Wyocena around 3:30 yesterday afternoon. The vehicle left the road before overturning several times and landing on its roof. The driver was arrested for a first offense OWI. A second crash happened around 3 hours later. A 25-year-old hit a highway sign and guardrail in Decorah. The driver tried to run but was stopped and arrested for a second offense OWI. Let's head to the Weather Center now. Julian Seawright has a look at your certified most accurate forecast. Nice day out there today.
Very nice day as we're starting off our afternoon. A couple of clouds, but still pretty blue as we're getting into the rest of our day. And as we see, as of right now, our current conditions, well, we're close, actually just a bit above what is seasonable around this time of year. We're usually around 53 degrees as of right now, but 54 is what we're feeling, even though it is on the breezier side with those northwesterly winds at 13 miles per hour. Not much of a chill, just a nice day for our April. Now, as we get into our temperatures around southern Wisconsin, many of us are into 54 degrees, with Janesville and Platteville alike, also around 55 degrees over into Boscoville. So we're all pretty good in terms of temperatures, but the wind speeds are on the breezy side throughout many of us. Around 10 miles per hour for Platteville and for Janesville as well, with 12 miles per hour winds into Mineral Points. And areas even with the single digits are into the upper single digits. For this evening, we're going to see that any cloud cover we have start to clear out as we get into tonight. A pretty nice night is ahead of us, but we do have an alert day in the forecast, and that is for Wednesday into Wednesday evening. We'll have the details for the severe weather potential coming up in a few moments, Mark. But until then, back to you.
We'll see you then, Julian. Thank you. Russia has pulled its forces out of northern Ukraine and is redirecting them to the east. Satellite images over the weekend showed a convoy of Russian vehicles 8 miles long headed in that direction. Ukrainian President Zelensky says his country needs even more help and weapons as soon as possible to stop Russian attacks.
We have to supply weapons to Ukraine as if they were defending themselves and their own people.
The U.S. is looking to give new weapon systems to Ukrainian forces that would require some training outside of the country. The White House says the U.S. and other countries are looking to return diplomats to Kyiv now that the city is more secure. The Biden administration is cracking down on gun crimes. Today, President Biden will propose a new measure that would regulate ghost guns. Ghost guns are homemade firearms that lack serial numbers, making them difficult to trace. Classifying some of their parts as firearms would change that. As the strict COVID lockdown in China drags on, anger is boiling over onto the streets. While countries around the world are lifting pandemic restrictions, China is sticking to its zero COVID strategy of tackling outbreaks with mandatory isolation and mass testing. Shanghai has enforced some of the most rigid rules since the virus emerged in Wuhan in 2019. 25 million residents have been forced to stay put. The U.S. is now warning its citizens to rethink traveling to parts of China, as they could risk being separated from family members if they test positive for COVID-19. Senator Tammy Baldwin visited the Platteville Fire Station today to highlight federal funding she worked to bring to Platteville.
Especially since we rely on infrastructure, it supports our economic activity. If we want to remain the lead economy in the world, we have to invest.
Senator Baldwin helped secure a $7 million investment in federal funds for the fire station. She also toured Southwest Technical College in Fenimore to learn how funding from the American Rescue Plan is addressing workforce needs in the state. Our Call for Action volunteers are in the building, taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. You're taking a live look at our Call for Action studio. Volunteers are here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Give them a call at the number on your screen. It is 608-278-2833. You can call for action anytime online. You can submit a claim to channel3000.com/call-for-action. Well, sad news overnight for the UW football team. Assistant coach Gary Brown has died after battling cancer. Brown, who was a star tailback at Penn State, spent last season as Wisconsin's running back coach. before taking a leave from the team right before the Las Vegas Bowl. Before joining the Badgers, Brown spent 8 seasons with the Dallas Cowboys. He was just 52 years old. And we'll be right back.
In the military, we call it dereliction of duty. Ron Johnson is supposed to serve Wisconsin. Instead, he served himself. An investigation found Ron Johnson pushed through a special tax loophole that benefited his own family's business. Then he cashed out of the company for $5 million. Ron Johnson has doubled his wealth since taking office. That's a dereliction of duty. Tell Ron Johnson to stop passing tax laws that benefit himself.
Do you suffer from chronic or severe back or neck pain? Did you know that there's now a treatment method available right here at Midwest Spine and Nerve Center that offers hope of avoiding spinal surgery for those suffering with bulging, herniated, or degenerative discs? Our therapies help reduce pain related to these conditions and have a high success rate in helping people just like you avoid back or neck surgery.
I've experienced low back pain for over 15 years. I had back surgery when I was 26 and had difficulties recovering. The doctors at Midwest Spine and Nerve Center have given me a new lease on life. I am now able to enjoy an active, pain-free lifestyle.
Call Midwest Spine and Nerve Center now to schedule a no-obligation consultation to see if our progressive pain-relieving therapies are right for you.
Andrew Larson here, owner of Larson Home Services. My team is fired up. We've discovered a new replacement gutter system that sets the standard for performance, durability, and beauty. It's called Gutter Shutter, and it's guaranteed to never clog, sag, or pull away. It's 100% made in the USA. We'll show you why Gutter Shutter means you can stay off the ladder forever. Right now, get 75% off installation labor, free financing for 24 months, and a $100 Visa gift card with your new Gutter Shutter system. Call now to set up your free estimate.
Habitat for Humanity of Dane County continues to help hardworking families attain home ownership. By providing financial coaching, homeowners can manage their mortgage and other finances while building stability for their family. Strengthen our community. Support Habitat Dane County.
Things were really starting to turn worse for my mom. They basically said, that's all we can do.
Right to try is hope when there is no hope.
We had done research on the Zysami. Apparently it was still in stage 3 clinical trials.
She couldn't have that medication unless it was for the Right to Try Act and Senator Johnson's work.
This is 3 days after the treatment, and you can see the difference. You know, without the efforts of Senator Johnson, my mom wouldn't be here today.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Shares of Veru are skyrocketing after the company announced strong results from phase 3 trials of its COVID-19 treatment. The company says patients hospitalized with moderate to severe COVID-19 saw a more than 50% reduction in deaths. Amazon is pushing back after an historic union victory at one of its warehouses. The e-commerce giant, which has long been anti-union, claimed in a legal filing organizers and the National Labor Relations Board tainted the results. Amazon listed more than 24 objections. An attorney representing the unionizing group called the allegations absurd. After 2 years of staycations, Americans are still cautious about splurging on summer. According to a new report from creditcards.com, 47% of adults are not planning to increase spending on non-essential items for at least another 6 months, and that includes travel and dining out. But Gen Z is ready to splurge with plans to boost summer spending and putting up a fight before doing a load of whites. According to a recent OnePoll survey, 68% of Americans dread doing the laundry, and 2 in 3 limit re-wearing outfits to avoid ruining them in the wash. 45% said forgetting clothes in the washer or dryer was their biggest laundry fail. Leaving items in their pockets was a close second. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to CBSMoneyWatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Diane Kinghall.
Thank you, Diane. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrial is down 209 points. The NASDAQ off 259. The S&P 500 down 53. Elon Musk will not be joining Twitter's board of directors. The CEO of Tesla recently bought a 9% stake in the social media giant, which makes him the largest shareholder in the company. The original plan was for Musk to be appointed to the board on Saturday, but on that day, he decided against the move. So far, there's been no comment from Musk. Still ahead, Pam Yankee has the latest ag numbers from the Midwest Farm Report. Plus, we could see some rough weather later this week. Julian has your complete forecast when we come back.
It's Make My Mondays at Hy-Vee. This Monday, get that smart sugar for only 99 cents. Only 99 cents while supplies last. Monday only. Scan the QR code or check out HyVeeDeals.com for more deals.
McGann Furniture in Baraboo has a question for you. Have you ever bought a piece of furniture in a box and then had to put it together yourself? We know it's not fun. At McGann's, everything is professionally inspected and assembled before pickup or delivery. Goodbye headaches, and there's no extra charge for assembly. And remember, at McGann's, we don't inflate prices only to mark them down for a sale. Stop in soon and discover the difference. You'll be glad you did. McGann Furniture, downtown Baraboo.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
People said we couldn't run a successful business using progressive values, but that's exactly what we did. That's how we built the Bucks Arena. We made sure our minority and women-owned businesses were able to grow with it, paying good wages, using materials made in Wisconsin, all done in an environmentally sustainable way. That's the type of thinking we need in the U.S. Senate. We're not going to just talk about issues. I'm going to go to Washington and deliver. I'm Alex Lasry, and I approve this message.
It's Make My Mondays at Hy-Vee. This Monday, get that smart sugar for only 99 cents. Only 99 cents while supplies last. Monday only. Scan the QR code or check out HyVeeDeals.com for more deals.
If you have a bike you're not riding anymore, we know a kid in the 608 who would love to have it.
Josh Ryder shares how you can help a local group give kids their first set of wheels.
And the chance for severe weather on Wednesday continues to increase. We'll track that tomorrow morning from 4:30 to 7.
Need to know what the traffic is like before you hit the road? Get the Channel 3000 app now, and I'll tell you where the trouble spots are and how to get around them. The Channel 3000 app. Get it now.
Powered by News 3 Now. The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Let's check in now with Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report on this Monday. Finally, some April weather.
Yeah, that's right. You know, I mean, it's warming up slowly but surely. That's good news, not just for farmers that want to get closer to the field and get started on planting. Don't forget, we've got a lot of our orchards out there that are watching for developments, too. Sooner or later, those trees are going to want to throw buds, and we want to make sure this cooler weather is behind us before that starts. Do want to let folks know that coming up tomorrow, starting at 1 p.m., there is going to be a special listening session about the future of the Farm and Industry Short Course. It's one of the longest, oldest ag education programs connected with UW-Madison in the country, let alone the state. Tomorrow from 1 until 2 p.m., Wisconsin Farm Bureau Federation and Professional Dairy Producers of Wisconsin hosting a listening session trying to give input on future changes that are being proposed for the Farm and Industry Short Course. This popped up about a month and a half ago when the university announced that they were going to pivot from a for-credit educational experience to a not-for-credit and also eliminate the on-campus residential experience. So lots of conversations. It's all going to be held online. I've got details on my website, MidwestFarmReport.com, Fabulous Farm Babe on Facebook. We're also keeping an eye on the advancement of this avian influenza situation, not just across Wisconsin, but across the United States. Of course, we've got 2 new detections since last Friday, one in Racine County and then a commercial flock up in Barron County. To date, 25 states from Maine and North Carolina to Texas and Wyoming have ended up with avian influenza. To date, we've got somewhere in the neighborhood of 24.6 65 million birds, mostly chicken and turkeys, that are likely to be depopulated. No change today. Barrel or block cheese or AA butter. Everybody quiet as far as the dairy complex is concerned, just to get us started this week. Kind of quiet. Kind of like the weather for right now.
For right now.
For right now.
It may get a little worse later on in the week. We'll check with that in a minute. Thank you, Pam.
You bet.
It's not easy getting teenagers up and out the door in the morning for school. Now research suggests starting the day later can have big benefits for the whole family. Health experts believe early start times can impact teens' learning and increase risk for obesity and depression. Only about 20% of U.S. high schools start at or after 8:30 a.m. That's the time recommended by the American Academy of Pediatrics. Researchers adjusted middle and high school times in a Denver school district 50 to 70 minutes later. Elementary schools started an hour earlier to accommodate the time changes for the middle and high schools. Researchers found parents of the elementary students maintain their sleep habits. Expect some severe weather later this week. Here's Julian with a complete forecast, a possibility of severe weather at least.
Well, yes, we're looking at our confidence to continue to increase, especially as we get into the next couple of days. But as we are rolling in as of right now, planning out today, we are going to be seeing quiet conditions for us until we get into the later part of this evening. We're going to be around 60 degrees as we get into the 4 p.m. hour, and this is what we're seeing on our surface. Looking at high pressure really settling into the upper Midwest, but activity is already stirring up for our friends over into the south. As we roll in throughout the next few hours, however, again, we're going to be onto the clear side and pretty quiet. But the alert day is what we are going to be keeping our eye on, because Wednesday and Wednesday evening is when we have the highest confidence for severe storms to be possible for us. High winds and hail are going to be the main threats for us, but a tornado cannot be ruled out as well as with the wind shear. But this is what we're going to be looking at, because Tuesday can't be ruled out either for us seeing potential of severe weather, especially for our friends just west of Dane County. We can see, even though the enhanced risk is for central Iowa, we are looking at the slight risk starting to leak its way into southern Wisconsin, but this is for Tuesday, and we're going to be anticipating that to really start to stir up for us Tuesday night. Wednesday, however, we are looking at the slight risk to really encompass the entire viewing area and much of central Wisconsin as well, stretching into northern Illinois. That's what we're going to be keeping a lot of our attention on, but again, we had our severe weather awareness week last week, so now it's time to prepare and go ahead and start to take action and putting a plan together, because it's going to be quiet for now, but that is for now. We're going to be really emphasizing that, because over the next 24 hours into the 48-hour range, we're going to start to see potentials of some storms starting to roll into our 5 p.m. evening commute for tomorrow. But tomorrow night, close into around midnight, where a lot of us are going to be going to sleep, we're going to be seeing some storms starting to pop up, coming in from the west and starting to stretch its way across the southern Wisconsin, even into the 7 a.m. commute for Wednesday. Then again, this is what we're going to be seeing. The instability of all the moisture that's coming in from the Gulf is going to start to stretch its way up into the upper Midwest. This is where we're going to start to see much of that instability popping in and bringing in strength for those severe storms to be popping into the upper Midwest, which is why we are also looking for a cause of just being aware of what we're going to be looking at going into our Wednesday. And on top of the high winds, we are going to be seeing winds close to 50 miles per hour. Overnight, that will be howling throughout much of our Wednesday as well. So our 3 things we're going to need to know, just to kind of break things down to really condense, is that yes, we're going to be looking at temperatures to be really near the 70-degree range as we get into Wednesday. But again, the warmer the air and the more sunshine we have, the more fuel for storms to be popping up. So we are looking for stormy conditions from Tuesday night into our Wednesday evening, and then right after Wednesday, we're going back to some colder conditions. But remember, we are going to be looking at this into the next 48 hours, and now it's time to put your plan in place in order to be prepared for severe weather. This is what we're going to be looking at over the next few days for us. 60s, near 70 for Wednesday, but then afterwards, we're going to start to calm down. The atmosphere is going to take a little bit of a break for us, but temperatures are going to be back to be low, being seasonable around this time of year. 40s are really going to dominate the forecast for a while, so even though we're getting to the 60s mark, we have severe weather, and then it's going to be quiet and cold once again.
At least a dry east of the way it looks.
Yeah, at least it is going to be on the drier side, so I'm looking forward to that.
All right. Thank you, Julian.
Yeah.
Howard's in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen with a musical celebration of a special day.
So far this year, we've celebrated everything from New Year's Day to National Pizza Day. So when I found out that today was Barbershop Quartet Day, I thought it'd be fun to bring in a classic barbershop quartet to join us while we whip up an old-fashioned milkshake. Goodbye, my Coney Island baby. To make it, all we do is combine some vanilla ice cream with some milk, sugar, and a good amount of frozen strawberries.
Never to see you anymore.
We'll give it a whirl, and once it's smooth, pour it into tall glasses. After fancying it up with lots of whipped cream and fresh berries, it's ready to enjoy. That's all there is to it. And if you have an old-fashioned milkshake blender, all the better. So if you're craving an old-fashioned treat that'll bring back all sorts of memories, all you need to do is head over to our website and get a copy of what we call our Memory Lane Milkshake. It may sound simple, but the harmony of flavors is timeless.
So goodbye, farewell, so long forever. Goodbye, my Coney Island. Goodbye, my Coney Island. Goodbye, my Coney Island. Bye, Coney Island.
Do they sound amazing or what? I'm Howard with the Cameo Barbershop Quartet in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a nostalgic way for you to say,
ooh, it's so good.
Hey, that's my line. Here you go, guys.
Lisa Briggs with the Bruce Company is answering your plant and garden questions. The number to call is 608-270-9933. Lisa will take your calls right after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Do you want everything you may deserve? Tell the insurance company you mean business.
I knew who to call.
They know how to get more from the insurance company.
Call 800-800-5678, Hupy and Abraham, right now.
Stop into Menards today, your plumbing headquarters. Finish your bathroom with Elger toilets by American Standard. The Everclean finish helps keep the interior clean. Check out Menards' great selection to find the right toilet for your home. Save 11% on all toilets. Remove or transfer water quickly with Barracuda pumps. These powerful, energy-efficient pumps are built to last. Be prepared for spring flooding and keep your basement dry with 11% off Barracuda pumps.
Save big money at Menards. For decades, Washington politicians have promised to lower the cost of prescription drugs. But every year the prices go up. Why? Because Republicans like Ron Johnson, and let's be honest, too many Democrats don't have the guts to stand up to the pharmaceutical companies. I'm Sarah Godlewski, and I will. I want to bring practical solutions to Washington. That's what I've done as state treasurer. I'm Sarah Godlewski, and the big drug companies may not approve this message, but I do.
At Hy-Vee, we take pride in being part of the communities we serve. In 2021, we donated more than 14 million meals, and this year, we're committed to doing even more. For over 90 years, we've been the place that people turn in time of need, and we take that very seriously. That's why we're loading our semis full of food this week and making deliveries across the Midwest to help families this Easter. To join our effort, simply donate when you're at the checkout. Together, we can make a big difference for those in need.
Nothing beats a great night's sleep on a new Tempur-Pedic from Steinhoffels. The Tempur-Breeze uses next-generation cooling technology, allowing you to sleep up to 8 degrees cooler all night long. Right now, get $300 in Steinhoffels cash when you upgrade to the Tempur-Ergo Smart Base. It automatically adjusts to snoring while you sleep. Plus, with Steinhoffels special financing and free delivery, buying a new Tempur-Pedic has never been easier. Relax, it's Steinhoffels.
If you've been injured in an accident, don't take on the insurance company alone. Put resources and experience on your side. Call 800-800-5678, Hupy and Abraham, right now.
Well, Lisa Briggs with the Bruce Company answering your plant and garden questions. 608-270-9933, the number to call. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Thanks for bringing some spring along with you.
Yeah, it seems timely. We just got a whole bunch of flowering stuff in for Easter and for spring. So got some begonias, some lavender, little calancho, gerbs, and roses.
Very pretty.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's go to the phones. We'll start with Nancy in East Bristol. Hi, Nancy. What's your question? Nancy, you there?
Yes.
Go ahead. What's your question?
Are you there?
Yep, we're here. Go ahead, Nancy.
I have an asparagus bed that has probably been there for about 20 years. I have quite a bit of sod on top, and it seems like my asparagus has diminished in the past few years, and it's kind of wandered a bit. I wondered if you might have some suggestions on how to rehab that.
So first of all, if you've got grass growing in there, you can use a herbicide that is grass selective. I believe it's called Grass Be Gone. Come into the garden center and we can show you, and it only kills grass plants. It does not kill anything broadleaf. And though leaves on asparagus are small, they're still considered a broadleaf. The other thing you can do is, once you get that cleaned up, is to feed them. Asparagus are heavy feeders, and that will give your crown some more strength, and you might get some bigger crops.
What do you feed them with?
Anything organic. We like Espoma. Garden Tone is perfect. If you can get your hands on some aged manure, that would be fabulous too, or compost if you have that.
All right. Good luck.
That's my plan.
All right.
Compost.
All right. Thank you for calling. Let's go to Ken now in Beaver Dam. Hi, Ken.
Hello. I planted daffodil bulbs last fall, and I put chicken wire over to keep the squirrels from digging them up. Should I leave the wire there, or what's your suggestion?
The daffodils will grow up through it. Daffodil foliage is generally pretty narrow, and they'll work around it. But then you're going to have to leave it there until their foliage yellows, because you won't be able to rip it off. So if you have other things that you want to plant in there after the bulbs, I'd go ahead and take it off now and put down some kind of repellent for animals, and that will keep the critters away from them while they're blooming.
All right. Squirrels like those daffodil bulbs.
Daffodil bulbs are pretty, not toxic, but animals don't like them. We generally see people doing this chicken wire method with tulips because they're much more tasty.
All right, good to know. Let's go to Joni from Avoca. Hi, what's your question?
I'm wondering if there's anything you can spray on quackgrass in my rhubarb beds. It seems like the quackgrass has taken over.
Sure, you can use the same thing that we recommended for the asparagus bed, just a selected grass herbicide. Will take care of the grass and will not harm your rhubarb.
Okay, and it's safe to...
Safe to use, yes.
All right, thanks for calling. Let's go to Carol in Stoughton. Hi, Carol.
Yes, I was wondering, my Lenten rose did not bloom this year, and it always has in the past.
Well, mine are just coming up. The ones that were really covered with leaves and are in the sun are up and ready to bloom, but some of mine that are in a shadier spot where there wasn't as much leaf coverage are still pokey, so I wouldn't count them out yet. I would give them some more time.
Okay, thank you.
You're
welcome.
welcome.
Love them so.
Me too.
All right, let's go to Diane. Hi, Diane, what's your question?
Hi, I'm wondering when I should fertilize my rhubarb. It didn't do very well last year, so...
It might need to be divided as much as it needs to be fertilized, but you can just fertilize it with an organic sort of product made for gardens. Garden Tone by Espoma is great. But think about if it's just starting to come up and not really leafy yet, you could dig it out and cut it, and then you can divide it, and that would probably help too.
A lot of people have rhubarb, it seems.
I know. I don't understand why, because it's not a favorite of mine.
Put enough salt on or sugar?
Sugar on it, yeah, sure.
All right, we're out of time. If you're on the line, stay there. At least we'll go in the newsroom, take your call off the air, so don't hang up. All right?
All right.
Have a happy Easter.
You too.
See you later. Here's Julia now. One final check of the forecast.
And just a reminder, folks, we have an alert day in the forecast for our Wednesday. And on top of that, we are going to be seeing quiet conditions for now, but just be prepared for stormy conditions for Tuesday night into our Wednesday as well. But aside from that, cooler conditions will roll right back in to unseasonably chilly as we get into those 40s to stick around for us throughout much of this week and even into the weekend. A little bit more dry, but again, make sure that you have your severe weather plan ready to go as we start to gear up for potential of severe storms heading into Wednesday. That'll do it for weather.
That time of year. All right, Julian, thank you. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, enjoy the sunshine. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you at 4.